You got to answer these three questions. Who do you help? How do you help them? And why should they listen to you? Who do you help? How do you help them? And why should they listen to you? And so what does this look like? What does it look like? Because it's not just enough to answer those questions. You got to do something with those answers, don't you? Well, what does it look like? What does that look like? Okay. There's five suggestions. Okay. Number one, figure out the three answers. Okay. Figure out the three answers. Number two, you update all your social media profiles to reflect. I don't know how many times I see someone who they're like, all right, I got a new brand and I'm doing this, but they didn't update any of their bios anywhere. No one actually took notice. And what that does when you don't burn the ships, right? So who was it? I think it was Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, when he would go to a territory, he'd like burn the ships. And that's like, hey, we either defeat these people or we die. And so like you burn the ships, change the bios. Now, in reality, you're not burning the ships, right? Because you could always update the bios back to something else, right? But at least, like, I don't know how many times I see someone, they have one description on YouTube and one bio on LinkedIn and one bio on Facebook, and they're all different. So you want congruency and you want to go all in. So update all your social media profiles. That's number two. Number three, now this is one that most people will never do. Number three is one that most people, the play is the rock stars will do number three. Most people will not do number three. And that is look for collaboration opportunities with similar people. So if you're you're helping people with grief because you've been through a lot of grief, you would look for, okay, who else out there is an expert or an authority about helping people with grief that has a bigger following than me? And how do I collaborate with them? So if I'm in the grief realm, I'm going to fight like heck to try to get connected to Brene Brown. And there's probably all kinds of other people too. And so let me share with you some examples. So when I was up and coming, and it was 2010, and I identified, now the word influencer wasn't really used back then. At least I don't remember it being used. Like social media influencer really wasn't a thing back then. I mean, yeah, there were people with influence, but that term just wasn't really used. And so I created my own term and I called them exposure agents. So I looked for people or companies that had a larger following than me that were serving similar people. And by the way, I wanted to get their attention. And how did I get their attention? I made them money. So my friends, Ray and Fernie, they were running an event called No Excuses. Does anyone on here remembers those events? They were great. They're amazing. They're awesome. But Ray and Fernie, they ran No Excuses. And so I saw that they had a contest on whoever sold the most recordings I think they won a speaking spot. And I'm like, I'm going to win that. And so I hustled my face off. I sold the heck out of these recordings and beat everybody. I beat all kinds of much bigger influencers than me at the time. And so I got a speaking slot, and I actually spoke for them I think I spoke for them for like 7 years or something like that. Like they kept inviting me back. So I got their attention by making them money. And then another one was magnetic sponsoring. Back in the day, they were called magnetic sponsoring. It was Mike Dillard. And so I wanted to get their attention. So what did I do? I became an affiliate. I started making money for them. They weren't a network marketing company, but there was an affiliate thing. Made a bunch of money for them. And then they partnered with me on a product. We did a product back called Pro Blog Academy, which I highly doubt any of you bought, but Pro Blog Academy, this was many years ago. And then we did an event, and the event, we had Eric Worre, we had Mark Lynn, we had Dave Van Hoos. We had some interesting cats in that room, and it was awesome. And it made hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know exactly how much. I want to say around maybe 300,000 or something. I forget how much. And then I did the same thing with My Lead System Pro. Now, My Lead System Pro is no longer around. They're also something different. But My Lead System Pro, I made them a bunch of money. They're like, hey, we should do a product together. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And so we did sponsoring secrets, or I forget what it was called. I think it's master sponsoring secrets or something. I forget. And dude, they sold that course. For like 10 years. I did over $1 million in commissions myself, My Lead System Pro. And so, but think about, where was my thinking? My thinking was, let me connect with people who served the same kind of people, but had bigger influences than I did at the time. And I partnered with all these different companies and reached a whole lot more people. Well, you can do that too. If whoever you're focused on, look at who's bigger than you, who has a bigger influence than you, and see, is there any kind of collaboration stuff you can do? Okay, so just to recap, all right. Number one, figure out the three answers. Number two, update all your social media profiles to reflect. Number three, look for collaboration opportunities to gurus, authorities, and experts that serve the same kind of people.